Marvin's Room would have not become the beloved track that it is if Drake didn't make this one super important production decision before recording it. For old Drake enjoyers, Marvin's Room off his 2011 album Take Care is the holy grail. When people say, I miss the old Drake, that's exactly what they're talking about. It encapsulates that melancholy feeling that every guy feels at some point in their lives, drunk or sober, where they wonder if they've messed up or missed their shot with a girl that would have been their wife. It's a very Drake sentiment. Now you might think the song gets that feeling out of you because of the lyrics, and I'm here to tell you that while they play a role, it's not really why. Marvin's Room relies on a principle in art that we call negative space. In any medium, it's defined as the space around your subject. So in a painting, it might look like this, where that space on the wall gives you a feeling of calm and peace and maybe even stillness, because your brain knows what an empty house feels like. In a photo or movie, it might look like this, where the space creates tension to make you feel a little uneasy. Now, negative space in music is a bit harder to describe because when you think about space, that's like a three-dimensional, visual, tangible concept, right? But it might be easier to think about it as a lack of auditory sensory information. Intentionally being presented with nothing, hearing the space, focusing on the lack of information. When Drake met 40 in Marvin Gaye's studio to record Marvin's Room, hence the name of the song, 40 claims he was not done with the beat. He was like, I need to add more stuff. This is clearly not done. But Drake heard the beat and insisted he wanted to record on it as is. He was like, do not add anything else. He wanted to record over this unfinished beat. But what that unfinishedness led to was all this negative space. All you have is a really simple 4/4 drum pattern with a lot of the high frequencies taken out. It gives the impression of being underwater, distorting your senses a little, a bit like being drunk. You have a super legato synth with no attack, which just means if you were to play this synth on a piano and press down a key, there would be no attack, there would be no impact. It's just a smooth note all the way through. And this for me really seals the deal in the drunk sounding aspect of the song, because attacks on notes create structure as clear time markers like da, 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 da. But all these notes from the synth are really washy and lack structure and make you feel like you're in this dream. There's also this really robotic, harsh noise that randomly comes in to create a little dissonance. This is to kind of add a little juxtaposition and not make the beat entirely smooth. It's actually really crucial in communicating this feeling of like loneliness, confusion, anger, and maybe even existentialism. What really makes the negative space of this beat have impact is the way that Drake uses it. Drake's always been known for not rapping on the one, which just means if you were to count to this beat and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Rarely does the first word of his current bar begin on the one. He lets you feel the one and then he starts talking. In Marvin's Room, this gives you the impression of a thought-like cadence, giving the lines the impression of a real-time idea organically forming right in front of you. Like the thought of what he wants to say hits him on the one and then he says it on the next beat. It's like if you were ranting to a friend, you'd be like, and then she, and then I, and then you get what I mean.
Cups of the rose, bitches in my old phone. I should call one and go home.
He leaves space all over this beat this way. Even aside from that, it's a very, very slow 5-minute track with 3 main elements. He's positioning his presence in a very small way, letting the washy, almost empty mosaic of the beat inspire reflection, reflecting on the girl you messed up with, for you to contemplate calling her, for you to make the parallel connections from this song to your own life. The lyrics are the story of Drake's life, sure, but that's not the point. That's not why people like it. The reason people latch onto this song so much is because of how good it is at getting you to reflect. When there's not enough stimulation, not enough sensory information, not enough going on, you reflect. And not to get meta, but just think of what you did with all the nothing in front of you during the pandemic. You reflected. Same thing here. Negative space created by an unfinished beat results in a more effective song than any more work would have produced. God, I feel like I'm grooving right now. Oh no. If you like this video, be sure to check out this one I did on Drake where I ask if he still even likes music.